Los Santos Stories, Episode 9. Weeks would pass and Harold would finally hit back. Bastard would have his man plant a bomb on my bike. Not sure how long I laid there for, but I came to as the paramedics arrived. I'd wake up again in the hospital. I was laid up for a week. Time makes a man dangerous when left to his own thoughts. Finally back at the clubhouse. After a week in the hospital, I laid out the plan. We would carry out hits on Harold's remaining sergeants, his youngest brother, and his only son.
Rise up, dead man, let the gunshots ring. Shadows calling, let the gunshots ring.
I ended the meeting. Everybody knew who their targets were. We all got to work.
Let the gunshots ring. Black trains coming. Let the gunshots ring.
We'd hit Harold's younger brother first. Fat bastard owned a trailer somewhere in Sandy, not too far from the clubhouse. Six in Hollywood caught him on his front porch early one morning. His wife unfortunately witnessed everything. She had to go too. This was fucking war. Casualties happened on all sides. There was no time for morality in situations like this. All these fuckers had to go. I don't care who they were. Man or woman, if you got in our way, you were fucking dead. Next would be Harold's son. I knew this motherfucker. Kinda grew up with him, went to the same school. Killing him would be a fucking service to everybody on Earth. Alex would later tell us that he had a tattoo appointment scheduled for noon. Alex would tell him he was on the way for a house visit, and during the wait, Six would pick him off from the hills. With word of his family members being picked off one by one, Harold would call all of his soldiers back to the compound. Place was a fucking fortress. We would have to fight for every square inch of ground we would take. Bastards were dug in deep. It would be a long fight. Fuckers were armed to the teeth with heavy weaponry. One of them even had a fucking truck with a mounted turret on it. We managed to kill every son of a bitch on our way up to the house, only to be confronted by at least 20 more. We would eventually clear the outer grounds of all of Harold's men. I would send Ferrari, Hollywood, and Cheslin into the house to look for Harold. Me and Six would check the stables. During the confusion of the firefight, Harold was stuffing duffel bags full of cash in hopes to pay off the loss to hide out with them. He'd run out the back door and work his way to the stables. Eventually, we'd find him and cut him off. Bastard was cowering in the last stable. Harold would ask the dumbest fucking question I've ever heard when we found him.
What did I ever do to you?
All this started over a fucking car, Harold. You made it personal. Me and Six would take Harold out of town, somewhere quiet, where no one else could find him or see what we were about to do. This slimy fuck had to die. He had to die so our club could prosper. He had to die so I could prosper. No longer was this club gonna play second fiddle to fucking assholes like Harold. We were gonna take what ours, and Sandy was ours. Hell, the club's been here for 40 years. With Harold and his men dealt with, it was time to focus on the loss. The loss would be a bigger threat, harder challenge. But like I said before, Sandy Shores is fucking ours. Some time would pass after Harold. Our dealings with Nate and his people up on Meth Mountain would only get better. Anytime they had a deal in Sandy Shores, he would hit us up for protection. Anytime he went out of Sandy Shores, he would hit us up for protection.